Nicole here with CellBotics, and with me I have Shura, and we're going to be covering 5 of the highest paying phone repair skills in 2025. So hang out because we are going to tell you what you need to know to get paid the best in 2025 if you are a repair technician or if you're entering the industry. If you don't know, CellBotics, we provide training to people entering the industry. So if you're new to the industry and you want to start your business, we are the place to go. Sure, tell a little bit about yourself. I won't try to introduce you. I'll let you do that yourself.
No, that's cool. Hey guys, I've been in the industry for about 6 years. I've had a cell phone repair location. I do training. One of my specialties is Apple Watch refurbish, and I love the industry.
Awesome. Okay. So the topic that we want to talk about is an important one. It's for 2025. How can you make sure that you're going to get paid a lot once you actually enter this industry? What is kind of the path that you want to go? So we've come up with 5 and we put them in order by what we feel like is kind of like important coming up. I don't know what to call it, but I would say screen refurb. Right? Would you agree? I feel like
Absolutely.
as far as like high touch goes, like how many customers you could potentially affect.
Yeah, I would say what people don't really understand is with the screen refurb, when you're really focusing on some of the pros, and with the iPhone Pros and Pro Max, where
Mhm.
these screens would generally cost you $100, $200. If you're able to refurbish them, you're able to add that additional $200 or so into your own profit, without
Mhm.
having to buy the full replacement screen. And a lot of technicians overlook it or they don't understand how it can benefit. I wouldn't
Mhm.
recommend that you screen refurb every device, every model, but
Mhm.
making sure that it's definitely a huge profit margin when you do it. And I know, from experience, the iPhone Pro and Pro Max are
Mhm.
definitely high profit margins
Well,
as
you
well
know,
as the Samsung.
and we don't want to date our video, right?
Yeah.
Too much. Yeah, I know that this is 2025, but refurb in general is good. As the screens
Mhm.
become more expensive and more advanced, refurb taking that piece of glass off the screen, it's not just taking the screen off of the phone. No, it's once you take the screen off, you're changing the glass. Now, if you're already in the industry, you know this, but if you're not in the industry, this may sound a little scary, but you can be a technician that just changes the screen and then you're left with the old broken screen and you can
Mhm.
resell that or you can send it off and get it refurbed and get it back and put it in another customer's phone. But you
Mhm.
can also eventually learn how to refurb on your own. And we
Exactly.
talk about this a lot in Cellbotics because we deal with people entering the industry. And it's very important that you understand that there is growth in this industry. It's not like you're just going to learn everything all at once. It's a progression. So you start your business, you start doing XYZ repairs, and then you look, okay, maybe within a year, I want to add this other repair type, right? And so it's a very robust industry, and there's a lot that you can do to make money and be successful and help customers. But the reason we have refurb first is because your majority of your repairs currently right now when this video is being made is going to be screens. Okay.
Mhm.
Possibly, I think next, what would you think? Batteries, or what do you think
Yeah, I
is
would
next?
say, yeah.
Screens.
Next one
Yeah.
probably be batteries. Yeah.
Hmm. So, you know, if you think, okay, I can implement something to touch customers I'm already working with, right? It would be refurb because you're already getting those customers. And, we teach you how to resell those screens until refurb. We teach you how to send them off to get them refurbed so you can put them back in inventory. But definitely, if you're looking to make more money and be really invaluable, because not only can you refurb screens for your own customers, people, other shops will
Yeah. Other
mail you
shops.
screens, right?
Absolutely.
Sure, you do
Mhm.
that with the watches.
Absolutely. Yep. So I've been doing that for about 3 years with the Apple watches, because some technicians choose not to refurbish the watches, and I mean it is a skill that takes quite a bit of time to learn. In my
Mhm.
opinion, the screen refurbish for phones are a little bit easier. Hence, the size. You got a little watch this big versus a bigger screen, but it
Mhm.
can be a huge addition to your revenue stream.
Mhm.
By adding the screen refurb for 2025.
Let's see. Yeah. So I think that's why refurb is also important, something to look at if you want to make the most money in 2025 and going forward. And it's not just phones, it's iPads, watches. There is a lot you can screen refurb. Okay. With that, I do want to remind you, if you have not heard of the Gadget Repair Expo, if you go to gadgetrepairexpo.com, there are training demos for things like refurb and micro soldering going on at the expo the entire show. So if you've never heard of that, you've never heard of refurb, and you want to get into the industry, you want to learn everything about the industry, it is a great expo to go to, and it's very inexpensive. Next we have micro soldering.
Micro soldering.
Do you want to go first? What are your thoughts on micro soldering?
Yeah, I'll go first. So definitely, I think micro soldering is even a less untapped. Like, there's not a huge, amount of people who do the micro soldering. But
Mhm.
I feel like that's another one that's, highly profitable because there's a lot of phones that people just do not know how to fix. They cannot resolve the issues. They don't understand how to fix them. And micro soldering is sometimes the only way to resolve it. So once again, not only can you do this for your customers, but I think even a bigger profit margins and growing your revenue is to work with other shops who just have phones that they just can't fix.
Yeah, and I think that this really opens you up to a lot of people when they come to enter the industry. Many of them have this perception that they can buy broken devices on eBay,
Mhm.
repair them, and resell them. Okay, which is a great ideal in theory, but you're not ready to do that once you as a beginner, because you need
Mhm.
to be able to micro solder, because there are so many issues with those eBay phones, and people who
Mhm.
sell those, they know what
Exactly.
they're selling. And so you don't want to come in with the misconception that you're going to just buy broken phones, fix them, and resell them. If that was your ideal, I'm really sorry. You're going to have to spend more time learning more skills. You definitely want to take a course like ours where you're getting all of the introduction information that you need. I mean, you're going to enter the industry properly, from not just from repair, but like, who do you need to know?
Mhm.
What are things you need to think about? What do you need to do with your business? That's all included in this course that you can take with Shura in person in Philadelphia, or we
Yes.
have like some online options. You down below is kind of like our website, cellbotics.com, and you can go there and learn everything about our courses. But if your goal is not to work with customers, that you don't want to work with the end user, you still need to take an introductory course, because you're going to need to know how to do basic repair. But then you
You're
would
gonna
want
have
to learn something that like micro soldering, because you can do that from home and
Mhm.
market your services to other technicians, repair shop owners who don't do micro soldering in their store. And you say, well, why wouldn't they do micro soldering? Well, they make enough money and they're busy enough servicing the end user. A lot of them, they don't want
Exactly.
to take the responsibility on, right? Shira, what is your thought on that?
Well, I think the thing a lot of shops don't do it, like you say, because they may be making 20 or $30,000 a month, more, doing
More.
screens, batteries, selling devices that they don't feel the need for it. As
Mhm.
also, it is a skill that takes time to learn. It's not like you can just learn it in a week and now
Mhm.
you're able to be like this micro solder. Like it takes
Right.
time to develop the skill, and it also takes patience. I can do some basic modern micro solder, well, not micro solder, soldering with HDMI ports, but that's not micro solder. Micro solder requires a higher skill and more patience because it can be one component, multiple components, and you have to have the patience to identify the problem and then resolve it correctly.
Yeah, and this is the thing about Shura as our trainer. She's not just a trainer; she is actually a technician. So me, I stopped doing repair a few years ago, and I really needed to partner with a trainer that was in it every day. Shura is doing repair every day. She's not just a trainer. So I do want to clarify that she knows what she's talking about. She's not talking from the "you can't do it, so you teach it" aspect that some people kind of throw at trainers sometimes, which is really wrong, in my opinion. But there's like this saying, those who can't do teach. It's like
Yeah,
so inaccurate. But Shura is actually a technician, so she's speaking from living this, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
so and a business owner. So it is a valuable skill, absolutely.
yeah.
But it's a different path, it's a different client. It depends on what your end goal is. If you have a shop right now and you're watching this, then you should be adding micro soldering. I know you think, well, I don't want to teach someone to do that and then they leave me. I hear that a lot, because once someone has mastered micro soldering, their potential income on their own is very high, and also they can get scalped from you, which means like somebody can hire them from up underneath you. You know what I mean? Um, you know, but is this a risk that you have to take? I don't know, sure, what your thoughts are on that, but not all owners can just learn micro soldering because they're running the business, or maybe they've got 10, 20, 50 stores and they want to implement micro soldering. Some of our clients, so we have clients that have like 200 locations. They'll have a micro solderer like per region, and then those
Mhm.
shops will mail devices, and
Exactly.
they pay that micro solderer what they're worth. So you're not going to get away with hiring or keeping a micro solderer at $20 or $25 an hour. I think it's much more than
No.
that. Maybe also profit share and things like that. So just think about that. If you're someone that's watching this, you're already in the industry, you've got some shops, and you're scared to implement micro soldering for the very fact that you don't want someone to go and take all the skill and leave you. Well, you're going to look at them more as not a business partner, but they're
Yeah,
partner
exactly.
with.
Partner. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like you need to
Yeah.
give them more. They need more money. They need more freedom. They need to want to keep that job, which is not that hard. I mean, you can really make a job pleasant for people, and they want to keep it. They want that steady, good income, and it could
Yeah,
really
and
help
I
the
would say
business.
a lot of people forget about this, Nicole, and we didn't really talk
Mhm.
about it much. But if you want to kind of even test out the micro soldering in your shop or whatever, I mean, you can find a local person to outsource it. It will still increase your profit margins because now you're not turning away those devices. You're not like, we can't fix it, we can't resolve it, but you build a relationship with a local micro solderer who can fix it, and still you can increase your profit margins. You just have to set the correct expectations that
Mhm.
it's going to take 7 to 10 days. That's what I normally tell my customers when we're going to do anything with micro soldering, because you're also working on someone else's schedule, and you
Mhm.
want to make sure that you put enough time in the front end and the back end to make sure once you get the device back, you're testing it, everything is fine. So I would consider looking for someone to outsource micro soldering if you want to try it and you're not ready to go ahead and
Mhm.
take that leap.
Yeah, definitely. And our friends over at iPad Rehab, Jessa is absolutely
Mhm.
amazing. I recommend her course all of the time. If you're a beginner and you're watching this, do not jump into that course. You need to take something like our course, get good at basic repair and terminology, watch content from Jessa at iPad Rehab, and then take her course. We have had beginners come to our course, and then the following week they had Jessa's course, totally overwhelmed, totally
Too much.
unprepared, too much. I will say this and I will go on record, and I have been saying it for years. Any course out there that says they include micro soldering and you're a beginner and it's a 1 week course, they're stealing your money. You're not going to be able to retain all of that information. You're not going to be able to actually implement it successfully, and it is going to be a waste of your money. And I will stand behind that. This is the reason why CellBotics exists. It is the gate for people to enter the industry properly. That is our motto. That is what we do. We're not going to mislead you and throw a bunch of crap into a course that's not going to benefit you. Our course gets
Mhm.
you making money and sets you on the path to this amazing industry with so many things you can do, like micro soldering. And what she means by outsourcing, if you're watching this and you're like coming into the industry, you can eventually learn micro soldering and then go to local shops in your area and market your services. And you
Mhm.
don't have to work with the end customer if that's not what you want to do. I know some people don't want to do that. So, okay. So enough about micro soldering. I think we could talk about this all day long.
All day long, right?
Refurb micro soldering. Let's just make a video about that. This one, scooter repair. Again,
Yes.
I'm going to drop a bomb here. Gadget Repair Expo this year, 2025, we are going to have scooter repair demo from a technician who is so busy with high-end scooter repair. He just cannot believe that more shops are not doing this. So definitely check out the expo if you haven't been there. But scooter repair, I know we're not doing any sort of scooter repair training yet. Doesn't mean that we
Mhm.
won't in the future, but I think it is something for people to definitely look into. I know that you know someone that's doing scooter repair.
Yeah, so in the market where I am in the Philadelphia area, actually another local shop reached out to me about working with him to do it. I don't really have a demand for it just yet. But I will say, as a consumer, I am even considering buying a scooter. I feel like, there's different price ranges for them. People are using them to commute around the neighborhood or different things. So it's becoming more and more popular, as
Mhm.
time goes on. And I feel like as they become more and more affordable, but many
Mhm.
people are using these scooters. They're not just for kids, they're for different busy professionals or people at a conference or different things. So it's becoming more and more popular. So I would say make sure you're kind of keeping your eyes on the pulse and see how this is going.
Yeah, and I feel like when we talk scooters, you kind of think drones. I think we're not there yet with drones. I feel like,
No.
so this drones did not make our list, but I just don't feel like we're there yet. And I feel like the people who do drone repair as a specialty, they have YouTube channels, they have a lot of followers, people pay a lot of money to get those things repaired
Mhm,
properly. And
mhm.
it's very far and in between when they actually need to be repaired.
Yes.
So I'm if you're thinking drones, that didn't make our list.
Yeah, that is no.
Yeah, next is Pelotons. I
Awesome.
personally have spoke to Peloton for the past 2 years. Peloton, if you see this video, I need to get you to the Gadget Repair Expo. So I was in talks with Peloton 2 years ago. There was actually a gentleman working there that used to work for Samsung, and he had this great idea to partner with CellBotics to create a course on how to fix Peloton. During that process, he actually gave me some really interesting information. Peloton repair technicians make like $300 a repair, and a lot of them are very easy in-home repairs, but they just don't have technicians. So you can
Mm,
yourself reach out to Peloton and say, listen, I want to be able to repair your Peloton machines. How do I do that? Where do I get parts? And then you can just market in your area, because people are actively like, the statistics he gave me at the time, I should have wrote them down, but I didn't. But it was like a huge number of people that can't even use their Pelotons, and they're
mhm,
just waiting on technicians. Like,
there's a
it's a
backlog,
huge
yeah.
problem. Yeah, that I've heard. And that gentleman actually left Peloton, and this whole plan we had kind of fizzled out. And I've been trying to reconnect with them. I would love to have them at the Gadget Repair Expo to bring a Peloton and show some technicians how to repair it, because there is a huge need for it. So
Mm,
it's a
mhm.
great product, and people are using it more and more and more. So who knows? But definitely
Yeah,
look into that. Okay, definitely look into that. And then finally, our last one: VR headsets, Beats and
yes,
AirPods, like the
yes,
wearable
yes, yes.
stuff. What
Yeah.
are your thoughts on that? Go ahead.
I mean, I've received probably, and we're just in the beginning of the year, I received at least 3 phone calls in the first 15 days of the year for Beats repair.
Mm,
And I was kind of amazed and impressed that people are looking to get them, fixed. And for me, being a technician, once you learn how to fix one device, and of course, if you get training by me, you will learn
mhm.
how to fix any device.
That's
So
right.
for me, I wasn't nervous about fixing the device or anything. I found a reliable source for parts, with it. And I'm not going to give the secret out. Join my class. I can tell you where you can get some good Beats parts at affordable costs. That will keep the profit margins great for you as well. But
Mhm.
definitely, yeah, I've had the Beats calls. VR headsets, me personally, I own a Oculus 2,
I
and I've
have
had to
two.
replace yeah, I've had to replace the lenses. And it was a little bit harder to find the parts, but I feel like, with the new models coming out and the prices going down, more people are buying them, using them more, and it's going to eventually, have more repairs needed as well.
Yeah, so, just keep those in mind. Now, AirPods, I am trying to work with someone that will provide AirPod repair demo at the expo, the Gadget Repair Expo. So I'm super, super excited about that, but it's not locked in yet, as of the time this video is made. But, you know, even cleaning them and things like that, these are services that you can market, advertise, and just keep an eye on. I mean, don't just think nobody needs that, because that's just
Mhm.
not the truth. But
They do.
we hope this was helpful. And again, you can take the in-person training with Shura in Philadelphia. Just need to go to our website, cellbotics.com. Like she mentioned, our course, the way that we teach it is that you can fix anything. We're teaching you a skill set that grows with
Yes.
you. We're not just saying, here is XYZ, you can only fix that because that's all you learned. That's not how we teach. And so, yeah, our course is amazing. I mean, this course, you know, I started CellBotics back in like 2010, 2011. It was actually a different name, and rebranded it like 2012. And so I mean, we're in 2025 now. We've been
Yeah.
perfecting this course. We have been working, we've trained thousands of people who own their own companies right now. Some people have taken it, failed. Some people don't follow through with things. That's just the truth.
Mhm.
But we have a lot of success stories. You can go on Google and check our reviews. I think right now we're a 5-star. I mean,
Yeah.
for a school, that's amazing. You can go to Facebook and check out what people are saying. We have a free Facebook group. So all of that is below this video. But we hope this was helpful. I hope 2025 is great for you.
Yes. Good luck.